So my name is Verolisa Forte. I have two locations, one in New Jersey, in Clifton, New Jersey, and another one in Dallas, here in Texas. And we specialize in luxury hair extensions. Our goal is to have like natural looking hair extensions for clients who just want for the hair to look nice and beautiful and not ruined it at the same time. That's what we specialize in. So when I started, I was doing Google ads myself. Like I went online and I looked at 1,001 YouTube videos, and I was able to figure out how to be able to create like Google ads. And it worked for a certain time. I was able to scale my business to a certain level. But then when I wanted to reach the other side of it, I knew that I was going to take a lot of my time in order for me to be educated on that. So I was looking for someone to hire that already had the knowledge, and then I can just focus on what I'm good at, which is doing hair.
Exactly. And I think what's so great about working with you and some of our other partners that we've been working with for a really long time is that they have similar stories. Like they either did it themselves or they were working with another company before that got them to where they were now. And then they had the realization of, okay, if I'm not going to, I maxed out. Like I can't keep growing at what I'm doing and I need to do something new. And I think that mindset is huge because you share that same mindset of everybody that me and Jack are still working with to this day. And that's why I think it works so well, is because you like have that growth mindset.
Oh no, I was just going to say that I have worked with, I want to say I've hired over 10 marketing companies. So it's not like I just went from doing it myself to then I found you guys. I was not that lucky, okay? I invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. People are saying that they're going to do great things, and then the delivery never met the expectations. So I'm so happy I found you guys.
Okay, so my jaw just dropped because I don't think I realized that you worked with that many people. I know you had experiences before, and I just remember you being like, yeah, I've been doing it myself, but I don't think that I realized how many people you worked with before us.
I'd say it's been more than 6. I want to say like, it's been like, yeah, it has.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Because I remember like you were definitely like skeptical on the call with Jack and you asked really good questions. And I kind of want to dive into that because I think like people should be doing their due diligence. They shouldn't just be signing up with people blindly. So if you can kind of rewind back in time and see if you can remember that time of like kind of being a little bit apprehensive and being on that call, what did that feel like and what kind of made you take that risk?
So the biggest thing, especially with the other people that I work with, they wanted to put me on the contract. And I'm fine to be on the contract, but you have to prove yourself to me that you're good at what you're doing. I don't want to be stuck, which I have been before, right? I take a leap of faith, a beautiful presentation on Excel and on PowerPoint, and then they say all the great things that they have worked with like major businesses and they have created X amount of sales, blah, 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 the whole 9 yard, right? And then I'm stuck for 3 months and then the delivery never met the expectations, like I said. So that was like my first thing. I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in a contract because I do not know who you are as a business. You can say all the beautiful things to me if many people have said it, but I need proof, and not in other businesses because I do understand every business is different, right? So you can thrive in somebody else's business, but are you going to thrive in mine? So that was my skepticism, was because I've been scorned in the past.
Totally. And what was it about us in particular that you were like, you know what, I'm willing to be scorned again. I'm willing to take the chance to be scorned yet again.
I think it was because it wasn't a contract, right? It was like, oh, you this work for a month, and if you like it, you continue working. I was like, I can take a month's chance, right? We have to give somebody an opportunity in order for them to see if they work well. So I was willing to invest what I invested for that 1 month and praying to all the gods that this was going to be it. And it was it, but I'm so happy. And I think also I spoke to Jack. I think it was the person that I spoke to. And he was so down to earth. He wasn't very corporate. He was just himself. And I was like, I like this. Like, you're not trying to really sell to me. Like, I was like, I like this. And then because I sell for a living, right? I didn't feel like somebody was trying to sell something to me really. And I appreciated that because I could appreciate I appreciated that. That's what I can say. I appreciated the fact that he wasn't too salesy. He was just being himself. And he's like, this is what we offer. If you're interested, you take it. If not, I was like, because that's how I am in my business. So I was like, okay, you can only be that good and say those things when you know your value. So that is what, from one business person to another, was like, okay, let's see. So that got me.
I totally agree. I think he does such a great job. And I think we also know that we don't want to feel like we need to convince people. Yes. Because we find, and I'm sure you find as a stylist, like the more convincing you're doing, the more of a pain the client's going to be down the road, because you basically talk them into something. So it's like, if I have to sit here and like explain to you the mindset and explain to you how this is going to be so much better and convince you and tap into your emotions and all of like the like gross sales techniques, it's like, long term, this isn't going to be a great partnership. Yeah. We're both going to be on each other's nerves within a month. You signed up for a month and then you go away. Like that's not a business that I also want to be a part of. And like you said, people will just see right through that at this point. It's like and I think what was cool about us initially working together is I knew and got the feeling from you that because you had done things before, you had the expectation of, you already knew, okay, as soon as we turn on the ads, it's not like you're going to have 100 new leads in one day. Like you already had the understanding of like these things, nothing is an overnight success. And that you appreciated, like, do we work well together? Can we communicate effectively together? And do we see an upward trajectory that we can build upon from the beginning to be able to take a chance the second month and then the next month and the next month and the next month? And that you, I think, have always viewed this as a long-term process instead of like, all right, I got to hire these people and I have to change my business in a day, because that's when this just like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and I know that would be unrealistic expectations putting on you guys and putting false expectations on me, right? Because when I first started doing the ads myself, even in the research that I did, it does say it takes like 3 months in order for you to see something, right? But you guys are so great that I started seeing, like my husband, like when I told my husband, because he was, my husband more skeptical than I am. When I told my husband, he was like, you sure you're going to do this? I said, I'm going to try one more time. And then he was like, okay, then. And then then the ads went live, okay? The ads went live. And then I was like, oh, the ads went live. I'm like, okay, cool. Then in an hour or two, I got like a lead. And that was impressive for someone that, maybe because if you don't understand marketing, you may not like understand how impressive that was. But that was very impressive. The fact that I got a lead in like an hour. And then after that, every day I was getting 2 leads. And that was just like the first month. I wasn't expecting that. So it was like blew me out the waters when I was like, oh, okay. So they know what they're doing. Okay. Yeah.
And it's just been like an upward trajectory ever since. So like, I'd love for you to talk about how your business has grown since starting with us, and like, because I think you do a fabulous job of retaining your clientele. Like, and that's what I always talk about, you know, when we're starting to kind of like interview people of like, okay, is this a great fit for, you know, the both of us? It's like, do you retain people? Because if you just keep bringing people in, like it's not going to be great for you, right? So if you could talk a little bit about that and how your base clientele has grown, I think that people would really like to hear from that perspective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can talk about that. So for me personally, the hair extensions that I installed are mostly microlinks, right? So with microlinks, there's maintenance in between. In 4 to 6 weeks, there's like that window that they have to come back to me if they want to keep the install for 2 to 3 months. So in my process, there is maintenance installed that they have to commit to before booking the installation, right? I break down all this for them. So they know that in 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to have to make another investment with me. And then in another 4 to 6 weeks, it's up to them if they want to remove it and reinstall, remove it or reinstall. That's another commitment, right? That even to just remove it will be another commitment. So they will have to come back to me, come back to a professional to get it removed. So the process, the way I So I feel like that's one of the reasons why I retained my clients, because they have to commit for a couple of months, and also educating them and educating them in a way that they can see the value in what they're getting, right? Because it's an investment. Most of my clients are spending over excuse me, over $1,000. So I want them to feel like I'm with you through the entire journey. You're not alone. This is an investment. I'm going to walk you. I'm going to take your hand and walk you through it. So that comfort, I think, is what retains clients. The fact that they're not alone on this. I'm not just going to do the hair and be like, I'll see you when I see you. If you want to book the refresh, you book it. If not, like before they leave my chair, after I do the install, they're already in my books. So they have committed even before they left. And I do that, so I can control my schedule and know the following month what that's going to look like, right? It gives me, they're doing the lawn. It gives me control of how much, it gives me an estimate of how much money I'm going to make in that month, which is great, right? Especially when I want to, if you're trying to scale up, you need to know like where are you starting. So that gives me a good advantage of that. And it makes my client feel special. They feel special. The fact that I care enough that I put them in my books, and I am very adamant, and I follow up with them if they haven't. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to look at my work schedule and see if I can book, and then I will have to follow up with them. So being that consistent with them and showing like I care about your investment as much as you do, I think is what helps me retain.
Definitely. And I think that really reflects in your numbers. Like, can you talk about from when you first started with us, kind of what your average month was, and now kind of the average months that you're getting now? Because I think that's really impressive.
Well, I was like having barely any. My starting number was like, I want to say maybe like $1,000 a month. Honestly, guys, I was not trying to grow my business. I was just, whoever came. Like I wasn't really trying to grow, but when I got serious about growing, that's when I know I needed help. So it went from like 1,000, 1,500 a month to 10,000. I've been close to hitting 20. Not yet, but I'm getting there. So I've been, it's been like 10. Honestly, it started like at 5, 7, 10, 12, then back to 10. Then because it's the business, guys. It's not going to always go up. It's going to dip, right? Circumstances of life, the economy, everything, little things, life, right, gets in the way. So it doesn't always go up. So when I was seeing a trajectory of going up, I was waiting for the dip. I've been in business long enough to understand that there's going to be a dip. We just don't know when sometimes. So there was a dip, and then, and then a sky right high, and then it even kills. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay, so the fact that you just were like, yeah, I went from like 1,500 to like 10K, like months, like stylists like dream of this when they come out of beauty. They're like, I'm going to be a 6-figure stylist. Like when they come out of beauty school, like that is insane. That is insane. The amount for one person behind the chair to be creating that much income, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously you can't keep it all, and you have bills and all the things, and it dwindles down. However, the amount, like, you're creating that, and to go from $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, or maybe not even $2,000 a month, to go from that to like 10K in a relatively short amount of time. I feel like it was like 3 months.
Yeah, it was like 3 months. Yeah.
Which is like absolutely insane. And I think that that's a testament to, number one, you actually like showing up and doing the work. And we're like, hey, we need the script. You deliver it immediately, and it looks amazing and it's great. And my editing team can go and we can create that brand around you. And then also what you just talked about before of like the service that you provide when people actually get there, because now you're able to retain all those people. So that's why you're able to see that upward trajectory and be able to continue to build upon it, instead of people that just continue to bring in new clients and then they don't keep them. Yes. And then they wonder why they don't scale. And it's like, well, you need to keep your clients.
You're going to be paying ads forever. And I mean, it's not bad to pay ads. There's different type of ads, right? It's like you need new clients all the time. That's the one that you pay the most of the money when you need clients all the time. And the other one is just like retention wise, where you just want to be, in there so people who could see an ad. But
exactly. And the fact that you even know that is also why we work so well together, because you know that difference. So yeah, no, I think that your story, like in particular, is just like, I've seen the most improvement the fastest. And I think it's because you had already set that foundation in the background, and you already knew your brand, you knew who you were. I was just able to kind of pull a little bit more out of you, put that into your scripts, and really let that like shine through so that other people could see it. And tell me about, because I know you're always saying like, oh, my clients are always seeing the ads and like they love it, because so many people, like I hear the objection of like, well, what if my existing clients see the ad and they're like mad that they're not getting the offer? And I think that from your point of view of how your clients react, I think could be an interesting view for people to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my clients, they be excited for me when they see the ad. They're like, oh, I see you everywhere. Every time I go on social media, I see you. Oh my God, it's so good for you. I think it depends on what type of clients you have, right? Most of my clients are executive. They work their butt off to get to where they are. So they understand what it is to build. I think that's a key, right? They understand what it is to build, and they understand that it takes hard work, and they see the hustle in it, right? And they appreciate it, and they are happy for me. They really are. They're happy for me. Like, oh my God. And so how they ask me, how's it going? Are you getting a lot of clients from those ads? Like they're even interested in my growth of how's it going. So I've never, and then the offer that I have for new clients, it says if you're a new client, because they got that offer. So they understand that they got that offer. That's not for them. The ad is not for them. They can forward it to a friend, and I have a referral program based in my salon, right? So it's like, oh, if you refer someone, if you're a client and you refer someone, you get an offer. But if you're a new client, you get this offer. So there's offers for different people, and they don't have to be as big as when you are, the initial one, which is like a new client. So no, I never had any objections to that. They say they see me all the time, and I'm happy they do. So that's how I know you guys are doing a great job.
I love that, because I think like you're always top of mind. Because it's like, oh, if they forgot to book their appointment, or oh, they forgot to write that review or whatever, they see your face and they're like, oh my gosh, you're constantly top of mind for them. So I think it's a really interesting way to kind of view the objection or the hesitation of like, well, like I don't know if I want my current clients to see it. It's like, why not? And you're growing.
They actually be involved in the ads. They comment and they'll be like, oh, Verolisa is so great. I don't tell them to do that. They're helping me with my ad. And they comment below. They're like, oh, you should definitely book. I'm like, I have the best clients ever. So I haven't had any negativity come from them seeing me. It's all positive. And they actually want your information. They want that.
I'm like, bring them on down.
They want they were like, oh my God, are you the one who's doing your ad or somebody else? I said, no, I hired an amazing team. And they're like, oh my God, they're so good. So they do ads for X, Y, and Z because I need ads. So they understand the greatness and they see it and they're happy for me. So I haven't had, like I said, any bad things to say about my clients seeing my ads, honestly. I didn't even know that was an objection.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's totally an objection. And I think also the quality of client is always an objection, because they're like, oh, I feel like I'm going to attract like the wrong type of clientele. Obviously, not everybody that sees your ad or comes in for your offer is going to be the right clientele, even if we're not running ads, because humans are humans. Like, people are going to stumble into your business that it's not going to be the perfect fit every single time. But I think you even sharing that, how supportive they are, they're also the ones that came from the ads. So
yeah,
like, they're obviously great clients.
They came from the ads. They got hooked on the ads. They put the information. They got contacted. The hair got transformed. And now they go back into my ads and say, yes, go ahead and book her. So it's like, thank you. I'm like, that is as good as a referral. That is as good as a review. That is
even better. It's really even better.
Share my marketing. They share the post into their personal like in Facebook mostly Facebook because my clientele is like in the 50s majority here. But they share it to their Facebook, and people who haven't booked share. And I say, thank you so much for sharing. And I'm like, you don't know me, but you're sharing this. So listen, if you ever had an introduction, I hope this, like, you see this part of this and it goes like out the water, because it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. It's been great. It's been great. I'm not paying them to forward it to their friend group. And because it's coming from them, it builds more trust than them seeing it themselves. So they're helping me 10 times more than just the ad itself, that I'm sharing it. So if you understand the power in that, I don't think you will have any objection.
I absolutely love that. I adore you. We're going to wrap up because I think that this was like amazing. I think the only thing I'd love for you to share is what would you say to someone who's on the fence? Because I know for a fact that you've referred us to so many people. Yes. And not a single, and they've seen your results, and not a single person has actually wanted to take the time and sign up, because people like to be, in their own dirty diaper, and we like to complain, and we don't like to change things, and change is so scary. What would you say to someone that's sitting on the fence and they're really nervous to sign up and take the lead?
That's a really good question. My first question would be, are you ready for this? Right? Are you ready to involve somebody else into your business? Not that they're going to have to hold your hand for everything, that you're going to provide them the information that they need in order for them to succeed. Or are you looking for somebody to fix all your problems and create miracle? That would be my first question. Like, if you're on the fence, you need to look within first.
Do you want a job? Do you want a job? Because yes. Thank you. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, that will be my first. And then if the answer is yes, you're ready, right? Then I would look into your books, right? Because sometimes you want to do something, you just can't afford it right now. Look at within your books and see if you really can afford it, because the worst thing you can do, even though if it's going to take time. So you need to understand, am I able to afford this? And even if it stretches you, because financially it will stretch you, right? If you're in that point, even if it stretches you, I think that you are in good hands and you will be able to see progress if you do the work, if you deliver on time, right? And when they ask for something, you don't just wait a week. I'd be tired, hungry, deprived of sunlight because I'm in the salon all day. But when they say I need a script, right? I either have to wake up early, stay late, go on a Sunday, tell my husband we can do date night today because I have to take care of business. And that's just the reality of being an entrepreneur, is that you're on the clock 24/7. And the time that you think that you're not, that's the big mistake until you get to that point. But I'm not there yet, so I can't tell you what that looks like.
I think you summed it up perfectly. I think after so many of the conversations that I've had with so many of the folks who have been just so successful and have gotten the best out of it, is that you guys all share a very similar mindset. You share a growth mindset. You don't look for a savior or someone that's going to come in and save you without you having to do anything. You understand the value that you're bringing to the table so that we can complete our job and we can work together to get to a common goal. So I absolutely love working with you. You're phenomenal. You're amazing. I'm going to let you go because we're 3 minutes over. But this was great. This was really, really great. I really, really appreciate, and I think just the way you're so down to earth about how you share things as well is just so approachable for people. Cause I'm so sick of the corporate jargon. When I work with some of our, some corporate people who want to hire us, and me and Jack are no, I literally don't even want to work with you because it's just too much. You're using vernacular that doesn't need to be used right now for us to just have a normal conversation. We're out. We're out.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's always amazing to me that, like you said, I have referred you guys to, I don't know to how many people, anyone that listens, okay? Anyone that listens. And I work in a salon suite in the Dallas location, and there's a lot of people who are struggling financially, okay? If you're struggling financially, and I'm giving them a way that they can, someone that can help, not solve their problems, all of the problems, right? Someone that can help, and they don't take any action. And it always like baffles me the fact that that's the case, but not everybody was meant to be a success. So
not everyone's meant to, I think, work on their own. Like, I think that there's a lot of people that I think, especially in this industry, got so much of like, just go out on your own and you'll make more money. And that's just not true if you don't have the skill set or the mindset to be able to do that. And they're going to work 25 times harder and make probably 20% of their potential of what they could do in a really strong commission salon with a strong leader.
Very, very true. I think that, and that's my biggest problem when it comes to, I'm a millennial guy.
Yeah,
comes to these young people that they think that they're going to come out of the beauty school and they're going to make six figures and they will have everything figured out. You don't have to be a boss. In order for you to have value in life, you do not have to be the boss. You can be an amazing team player and be great at what you do as a team and not just by yourself. It is hard to be a boss. It is hard. And I tell this to anyone who listens too. I'm like, don't be just like, when someone's like, oh, so what do you do? And I tell them that I have this and I have that, I'd be like, oh, impressive. I said, don't open your eyes like that. You know how much time I work? Sometimes I wish I can go do 9 to 5 and then just like get out and I don't have to think about another text message that I have to reply. Like, so I think, and you know what? And I think I'm hoping that it's going to correct itself where it went from like, oh, everybody wants to be a boss, independent. And then it's going to be like, okay, let's be a team. I think team group and teams tend to do better than an individual anyway. So
totally agree. I mean, we are a little mini version of a team. Like you really do need other people. Like Jack and I have Diogo and Adrian. Like if it was just Jack and I, we would not be able to still be in business. Like you need other people to be able to support you. You just need the right people. And you need the right people and the right partnerships.
Yes. This was an amazing partnership. Amazing. Every time I speak to you, I learn something new.
Oh, thank you.
It could be about the industry. It could be outside of it. We have like side conversations as usual. But I learned something new, and it is enlightening to have a conversation with someone. It'd be like 30-minute conversation, but you can learn something new from someone. And I can apply to my business or see things from somebody else's perspective. Sometimes you're like in this tunnel vision and you think this is the only way you can go until somebody else gives you a little light. Like, oh, look, maybe you could try it this way. And then you try it and then you're like, ta-da! You see
Totally. It's like sometimes like the smallest little pivots that actually like create the most space for growth and like leveling up to the next level.
And I get that from you every time we have meetings. So I appreciate you for that and everything you guys do as a whole. So I hope that this interview, you can chop it up and
no, for sure. I really appreciate that. And for me, it's always so heartwarming because I'm like, okay, wow, like all the little bullshit that I have to put up with for like just the day to day. I'm like, okay, it is actually helping folks. Like it is actually making a difference, and it's not all for nothing. So that always
not. I'm that. Yes.
Thank you so much.